well, it seems as though I was right and you copers in the comment section were wrong. Now, I'm not speaking to everyone watching this video. You know who I'm talking about, though. The motherfuckers that came to the comment section on the video talking about revenue. 3.0 wasn't a failure. They needed $55 million. We're gonna get into that later on in the video, guys, but we have to quickly go over the developer notes that we've gotten, guys. The developer radio that proves the point that I know, and I think some other people knew, and I think the casual free-play community knew. So let's start off here first, guys. Following the version 3.0, the Express crew has received an array of feedback from Trailblazers during their exploration of the new world. Some of this feedback concerns issues with Trailblazer experience with the story and exploration. Oh, the story was good though, right? The story was so amazing. It wasn't dope. It wasn't bad. It had some good juice in there, right? The story was so good. They only made $5 million less than they made last patch, guys. That's not bad. First of all, guys, before we get into deeper this, they would not be addressing these concerns with story and stuff if it did not impact their bottom line. I think the point people make of like $55 million is not a failure by any means. Maybe not in your eyes, but in HOYOVERSE's eyes that might be the case, and I'm going to explain that in a second here after we get over this, guys, so make sure you watch it in the video for that, especially if you're one of those copers there. So guys, what do we have here first? Trailblazer main story issues. We received feedback from the Trailblazers that Nvidia's main story contains excessive lore exposition and too much reading. Haha! Sorry. Results in feeling tired and fatigued, bro. I was slept on it. Yes, sir, it was. Nvidia has a complex design, and during development, we wanted to ensure the information supporting it was complete as possible. However, the result has presently failed to meet Trailblazers' expectations. Yes, guys, they would not be making this mistake if it wasn't true, and the majority of players felt like this, guys. So if you're coping in the comment section saying that it wasn't, like, absolutely, like, dog shit, like, going through it, I'm not saying that the content there was bad, not to say, like, the meat and potatoes there was bad, but to get to the meat and potatoes, holy fucking shit, bro, that was dog shit. It was absolutely ass. And literally, I think they could have done a couple of things here if they wanted these big expedition dumps. Add some more animations to it. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's keep your attention to the screen. Or cut down that dialogue and still add this extra stuff so it's still compelling to look at. Either or, I think they could cut down dialogue and still give you the amount of lore you need to get. But let's continue through what they're going to do here. In response to this feedback, we will address the root of the issue by reducing design-related expansions in the story. In the upcoming version, Trailblazer will have the option of skipping content. Yes, this is a huge thing. I don't know why they haven't had this before. I don't think by having a skip button in your game is bad by any means. This just gives the player the opportunity to skip through your bullshit if they don't want to sit through your bullshit, right? I think giving players the opportunity to actually skip through the content will actually push them to make the content better and make players stick around the game longer. The main point of gacha games, guys, is, while yes, to spend money on the game, but the real goal here is to keep you in the game for as long as possible. They want you playing the game as much as possible. That's why you have stamina resets every day, right? That's why you have daily quests you do. They want you coming back to the game every day. They want it to be integral to your daily life. They want you to keep playing it so you'll have the chance of maybe spending more money on it, right? And if you spend more money on it, they make more money, obviously. But if you quit while the story is not fucking doing it for you, then you're going to quit the game. So obviously this is a big issue. Taking version 3.0 as the example, the progression from the beginning of the story of Akuma contains a lot of dialogue with information of the end times titans, crosshairs, and miracles following the adjustments we'll choose. Dude, this is great. If you want it, I feel like they've done this before though. If you want to know more lore, like before you go on like an expedition to another planet or something, they give you the opportunity to talk about it. If you don't want to know about the lore, fuck it. Next page we go. This is great. I'm glad they added this in. Give the players a choice. That's all I think that most players even ask for, right? To give another example, when facing Oryx's trial in the Abyss of Fate, Trailblazers must try 3 different methods of doing the lance, bat, and standing on top 3 to complete the Titan's test. Following the adjustments, these 3 attempts will become optional, thereby granting and simplifying process and the flow of the story. Yes, that's fine. Great. Amazing. Let's skip it for the dumb fucks that don't give a shit, right? At the same time, we will look to arrange and present missions in a more reasonable manner and reduce the tedious narrative experience. Yes, please, give us more visuals on the screen. You don't even have to do that much. I think Zenless Zone Zero is a great example here. Literally, the comic book strip there keep me more engaged than just looking at a character, whoa, 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 whoa. And also with the black and white. Agilia touched your leg. She then rode her hand up to your thigh and then thought you were looking a little pale, plush, and maybe a little bit flustered. But before you could say anything, she removed her hand, looked at you, and told you about the lore of Amphorius. Now guys, was that very intriguing and fun to watch there? Probably fucking not. Anyways guys, let's continue on with this. The Amphorius main story contains some unique stages of gameplay that was named for the Trailblazer experience to the rules of design of the world. To tackle this issue, we will optimize. So they're gonna, okay, so honestly, I didn't really have too many issues with the puzzle solving and stuff like that, but let's see how they're gonna try to fix this issue. To tackle this issue, we'll optimize the main story puzzle solving design with a simpler and more direct solution to some puzzles. I think these were fine. I mean, genuinely, I didn't have any issues with doing this. What are they doing here? Okay, so it looks like similar before reaching the Soul Forge, Trailblazers must complete a series of drawn-out puzzles to proceed to the final battle. Following adjustments in some puzzle rooms, Trailblazers will be able to choose the progression of the story in a more whatever the fuck that is, by talking to Guinness and engaging in battle. At the same time, we will optimize the lengthy and complex map pathing for the main storyline. I think that's fine. I think adding complexity there is completely fine to do that, guys. I just want to let that be known here. To reduce any negative experience caused by the above issues, we'll make sure the overall quality meets everyone's expectations. We are continuing to polish and fine-tune the upcoming versions. Regarding the existing content for version 3.0, we will proceed with the aforementioned adjustments. We anticipate the adjustments will take effect in 3.2. Okay, that's completely fine. And it looks like they've given us one little final note here, guys. Amphorius is a long year journey, and these story quiz and puzzles optimizations are just the beginning. The Express Crew will continue to optimize content. We're excited to bring everyone bigger and better journey experiences. To name some examples, we'll be adding richer combat gameplay. Great, absolutely amazing, we love that. And challenge goals into the game. In addition, issues closer to the chart, including difficulty deploying older characters on the battlefield. Fucking great. And strengthening these old characters. Yes! Give them buffs. This would, I think, help out the lack of 4-star issue so much because of the fact that we can't really use the older 4-star characters in the game because they're kind of dog shit, right? Unless they've gotten like a new path or something. For the most part, they're not that good, right? By giving more revitalization to these older 5-star characters, I think a great example I can give of this is Cookie Run Kingdom. If you played Cookie Run Kingdom, you might know of the candy system, right? The magic candy system, right? This basically brought the old characters back into the limelight, brought them back into the meta. I'm talking first patch characters back into the meta just because of how good these buffs were for the character themselves to revitalize them and make them even better. So I think that getting buffs to older characters is absolutely amazing, and this also addresses another thing too, which people have been complaining about. Like I said, 4-star problem doesn't completely address it, but it does help address it. Secondly though, guys, this leads to the, I guess the thought of maybe multipathing into different characters. So let's take a character like Zila, for example, right? Maybe Zila could have a separate path that she branches off into now that she can maybe hunt and then another path, or maybe they're just gonna buff like her base kit to give her more there too. I think the better approach would be giving them a separate path maybe they follow, with a whole different kit that maybe helps them do like maybe a completely different role, right? I think that is very interesting, and that would be great for players on reruns, right? Because honestly, at this point in the game, do you really pull for rerun DPS characters? Not really, but this does address the power creep issue, even though everyone said there's no power creep issue. The issue with the game, guys, is you guys encouraging the company to do more power creep. I wonder who the fuck said that. Anyways, guys, with that being said, let me get to the point I wanted to make here in today's video. And as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, right? Why was 3.0 a failure, and how does this prove that 3.0 is a failure? There is no way that this company is coming back and saying they're revitalizing old units. They're going to be adding a fucking skip button and optimizing story if this was not a very big and key issue to them, right? And how do you tell this is a very big and key issue? First of all, you can do it from community feedback, right? So if a lot of players are coming in saying, oh, this sucks, please change it, that would be a big factor into changing it, right? But what also changes things or gets company to look at this community feedback? The revenue you make. Now, the reason why I say 3.0 is a flop, yes, it made $50 million. Don't get me wrong, that's a fuck ton of money, right? That's with the release of The Hurdle on a completely new version. And the problem is, guys, when we look at versions of the past, so we can actually take a look at this chart right here, because I have been tracking Honk shit Starbucks revenue since last year, guys. 2.0 released back in February, early February, right? And if we take a look here at our chart right here, they made $92 million in February, almost $100 million back in February, whenever 2.0 launched, right? Whereas half that revenue, but basically, let's just cut it how it is. Practically about half that revenue was made in this month when version 3.0 launched. So already you're almost losing like half the revenue already made. That's not even to mention like how much more revenue the game made in March, $144 million. Do I see this jumping up next month? No. I don't know of any characters or any people that are really hyped for Agali or whatever her name is. Who else is really hyped for Tribi as well? Like, who are pulling for these two characters here? Maybe Medi is good, right? And maybe people want to pull for Medi, but I don't know, right? At the end of the day, guys, this is how I see it, right? Say they made $55 million last patch, version 2.7. Let's say they put $1 million into that patch, right? And then they made $55 million on return, right? Oh, yeah, yippee go, yay, we made it! But then let's say you put more time, more effort, more money into the next patch, $10 million, plus a lot more time, labor hours, everything like that, right? And it makes less money. Would you say that's a failure? In your mind, would you say you put double, triple the hours of work in, you paid all these people to make these assets for you, you made a whole new fucking world, and you made less revenue with a more hype for character? Are you fucking kidding me right now, bro? Absolutely the fuck not. Get the fuck out of my face with that shit, guys. Quit sucking this fucking dick of like, oh my god, they made $55 million. It's fucking amazing. Oh my god, they're fucking popping off. When that's not the case, I guarantee you $50 million on version 3.0 for them, I bet you they consider that shit a failure. I don't care what you guys consider it. They're making these statements, they're making these adjustments, and that proves that it was a fucking failure, because they would not be doing it otherwise. Money talks, and when people don't spend money on the game, they look to correct that shit. The same thing happened for ZZZ as well. It was in the fucking dumps, and you know what they did with Miyabi? They fixed all this shit, practically made it a new game, and guess what? The market responded, and they put more people spent more money in the fucking game. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Anyways, let me know in the comment section down below. What are your guys' thoughts on all these changes? I was right. You were fucking wrong. You know who you are. Bye, guys. See you later.